6:35.
33.
Thank you.
We're gonna have her nap, so just.
So yeah, I didn't get my nap. So I'm
Neither
going
did
to
I.
establish a quorum. Are you willing to establish the quorum, or you don't have your mic
All right, you have Commissioner McKay,
present?
Commissioner Douglas,
Present.
Commissioner Finan,
Present.
and you have a quorum, and absent is Commissioner Taroni and Commissioner Green.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda? Does anybody want to move anything around? No. Anybody from the public want to move something around? Okay. I have a motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
No, you're fine.
Somebody's got a motion.
Oh, I make the motion.
Okay.
I'm not in this.
And also,
I'm just gonna
great.
do this. Okay, good. We have a motion and a second, and all in favor of approving the agenda? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have an agenda. Public input. The public is invited to present petitions, make announcements, or provide other information to the commission that is relevant to the scope of authority of the city of Blue Lake that is not on the agenda. The commission may provide up to 15 minutes for this public input session. To ensure that each individual presentation is heard, the commission may uniformly impose a time limitation of 3 minutes to each individual presentation. The public will be given the opportunity to address items that are on the agenda at the time the commission takes up each specific item. Is there anybody here for public input? Nope. Okay, moving on. So the approval of the August 12th and September 9th minutes. Did anybody have a problem with any of the minutes?
No.
Alice, did you have anything that you noticed?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Are we approving 2 sets of minutes?
Yes.
Because we didn't, right. Okay.
Does anybody want to move to approve the?
I will move to approve.
Move to approve.
Seconds.
All right. Moved by Julie Douglas, second by Alice Finan. Are there any changes that the audience needs, the public? Nope. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Art-based traffic calming installations, discussion and recommendation. So, number 5.
Mhm.
Yes, so
This is the crosswalks.
Mhm.
And so Sherry's not here, but we did meet. We walked around town. We walked over to the school.
good.
We talked. We came up with ideas. And so one of the ideas was the idea of going with the school's colors, like just to copy Humboldt. But, because it's right in front of the school, to kind of go with their colors. Now, I wanted to also have, and Sherry, both, we agreed to have footsteps going one way and the other because kids are learning how to walk. That may or may not be doable because of the maintenance issues with that. But it could be nice, and especially if like Paradise Cake could make a template, and we just
Oh.
like
Would it be like into the asphalt itself or
But
paint
like
it?
on top. Yeah, paint it
Oh, okay.
on top. But do the stripes first and then have it be like people walking across with like primary colors going across and back. So
Mhm.
that because they're learning how to walk, on one side of the road and then
Mhm.
the other to go back out. Maybe have like two sets of prints that are kind of like kid prints and adult prints
Mhm.
in each direction, something like that to kind of help kids cross the street.
Mhm.
Um, so anyway, that was an idea, and I don't know if Paradise K does that. I didn't um, research that part, but
And we're just saying the one in front of the school? Is that the ones near the school or is it?
there are two, correct, that go
Yeah,
across.
so the Greenwood, there's two on Greenwood
Right.
that
Mhm.
are up for painting and
Mhm.
a little bit more artistic. Um, the and I did run this by the school as well when I was
Mhm.
putting the packet together just to
Yeah.
make sure that they had looked and they had asked for the Mustang colors
Oh.
and like the rainbow colors as well. My only concern, I was just want to point out, just because this one is part of a federal highways state funded project, just want to not get too far out of the box on the crosswalks because there are some pretty specific regulations on crosswalks, and this one will be inspected by the state to make sure we're in compliance with the MUTS, MTUSD, whatever the acronym is for the regulations. Um, so I I would just caution just to keep it pretty simple, but I think it's replicable in other areas where we also need to get attention for kids crossing, especially on our safe routes to school. I think there's a lot of crossings that we could do the
Mhm.
same thing with that wouldn't necessarily be under the same jurisdiction as the state inspectors.
Mhm.
That's just my only
Mhm.
recommendation because this one is going to
So,
be a
are
big
you
one.
saying would they not
I
do
think this will
this
be
even?
fine. I think this will
But
be fine
footprints you're talking about.
because it breaks up the solid lines because the regulations talk about the
Mm.
solid white.
Mhm.
And I'm just concerned that if we push it just a little too far, we might get called on it and we
Yeah.
might not, they might call us on the whole thing.
Mhm.
I think um, there's projects that have been going forward and have been funded through these same sources that are using art-based crosswalks and things as traffic calming, and so there's a lot much larger recognition of its applicability and safety enhancement, and it is getting funded also through these programs, but I'm just not sure how far they'll allow you to go.
If they would allow footprints like on the sidewalk, like waiting footprints,
I don't
so that
know.
so that
That's a good
kids could
idea.
like stand there and look at the
Right.
footprints,
Right.
Uh-huh.
That
something
like
like
kind of
that,
like
because
the safe
this is
space to stand there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
great idea. Now that I don't think would be a problem.
Mhm.
Um,
What
I
if the footprints were white? Does that break it up
Oh,
I
even
don't
more?
know. I don't know
interesting.
if there's anything with the like the spacing of the lines and the solidarity of the line that has any implication. I don't know if there's studies on how people see it, how it looks under low light,
Mm.
different things. So
Sure. How
um
would we know that? How would we research that?
we would have to go into the regulations.
Okay.
And that's the only thing, like I said, I just, because this is such a frontal project and we are going to get inspected the whole thing. It might be easier to make that application to a street that's more of just a local road and not a designated truck route that just received $1.8 million in financing
Right.
and
Yeah,
funding,
it's kind of high profile.
it's pretty high profile. It's
Okay.
going to be high profile. But I
But the
like the
steps on the
idea
edge is
about
fun.
on the sidewalks.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah,
Cute.
footprints. And we could even have them on the sidewalk,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
if we
just kind of
wanted,
like here's the safe space so you're
Yeah.
away from traffic.
Are there bumpy things right as you wait?
There are all of the crossings do have the truncated domes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an ADA requirement.
Yeah, I was just wondering if
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I
I
said
think
paw
those
prints,
are,
but the
yeah.
footsteps
Trying
go
to
there.
think of how to make it,
Yeah.
artistic.
Hmm.
Yeah, totally. I know.
Right. So, um, do you guys have any input? Do you like these were the two choices that the school came up with?
Right.
Just the two colors and then this
I like the rainbow, but
I
if
do
they
too.
just because it's bright and it like
Hmm.
Yeah.
it actually
And if it,
gets
maybe
my
we can have
attention.
one and then the other, and so, so that we have two different, because I think there's two. Are we talking
Yeah,
about two?
so we're talking about having one of each of those.
Uh-huh.
But if
Yeah.
they like
Yeah.
the
Because
yellow and blue, then I don't
yeah,
know.
and
Well, this
the
could be right by the school, and
they
then this could be at the far end of the school. There's
yeah,
two
that's what the
crosswalks.
school requested.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they wanted the Mustang color closest to the school and the rainbow one at the other one. So
There
they
you
liked
go.
both those ideas. And the reason I think there's a lot of other street projects that have been funded that are using just very simple, and a lot of them are using the rainbow
Mhm.
because it's just such a bright color and it's so pretty.
Yeah.
And so I've
Catches
seen
their
that on a
attention.
lot of, so I feel like there's a precedent has been set on that a little bit more.
So this is like at the corner. And this
Um,
is right at the school. Is that
the
what?
blue and the gold will be right at the school, and
At
then
Blue Lake
the
Boulevard, like the first
Yeah.
crosswalk.
That's what I mean on the corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
there's no,
It's in about a half a block.
it's by the main entry gate.
Yeah.
Is the first one,
Yes.
and then the
Where
other
the
one.
flashing lights are.
Yeah, there's another one a little further
Farther
down.
down,
Yeah.
That's
past
on
the
We don't
school.
have anything crossing up towards the boulevard. We don't want any kids crossing. We want
Okay.
them to come down the sidewalk and all the way down
There
and
is
then
a crosswalk
cross.
there, right?
No,
There's not.
no,
Oh,
Not at the
interesting.
boulevard. No, but
no,
it's one block in. Like, is it
down.
at, yeah, it's at C Street. So it's C Street and B Street, I
Yeah,
think is where they are.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. And I think it's gonna look really nice. And I'm hoping that, we can do this, in other parts. A lot of our, we have crosswalks in the downtown that have the brick and different things. But these are great ways. And we did run this also by Public Works because ultimately we have to repaint them every year. And so Glenn was like, oh my gosh, how many colors are we doing? But because it's more of a stencil, and he was like, okay, if as long as you just stick with the primary colors that we can purchase, I think we can manage that. But try not to go too far because we don't really have the capacity to, because we have to go back in and paint all of those ourselves. So
Right.
Yeah, so they'll do that work.
yeah, so the contractor will do the initial, so that'll be done with the project, but then the overall maintenance, like every
Mhm.
year we come back, and usually before Annie and Mary Day, we like to try and get all the crosswalks painted and different things and the stop bars and stuff just to kind of freshen everything up.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually it'll be the city maintaining those.
Right.
But yeah, and maybe we could look at the sidewalk area because I think that is kind of a neat idea to have kind of that safe, like here's where you cross from first,
Right.
like, I think that's really cute.
Some waiting fees.
Mhm.
So are we looking for, do we have to make a motion or anything, or we're just going to recommend to staff?
I think it's just a recommendation. We had brought this up to council, a long time ago. I mean, we've been kind of working through this
So
as
this
the
will go to the
plan.
council then?
No. So this part of it had just been kind of, have Arts and Heritage make that recommendation. So
Mhm.
you're just making it back to staff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any more to discuss, either of you, about this?
No.
How do you feel about it? Okay. Does anybody from the public have something to say about this?
Sounds like a lot of good idea.
Okay. Great. Okay.
So no motions are needed then.
Nope.
I don't think so.
We're just gonna
No.
move on.
Yeah.
Fire hydrant.
Yes.
Items. Okay. Now, I don't know if I need to recuse myself.
I don't know if I need to recuse myself.
Are you
either.
actually really good? Are you doing one, Alice?
She doesn't know it yet.
Okay, yeah.
No.
No, we're not being
No,
paid.
and it's really the organization that I work
That's
with.
the
You know.
utmost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not getting paid. If you're getting paid for it, else you do have to.
No, I'm not going to pay for
Oh, here it is, Del Arte. Oh, a clown. Now there is something that was brought to my attention. There are certain parts of these fire hydrants, I believe, that
Yeah.
Glenn said have to remain a certain color.
So all of our hydrants in town are high flow hydrants. So they pretty much all have the same GPMs. And the fire department knows that. And so we'll work with the artist just to make sure that the it's delineated and the fire department knows, but we know that all of our hydrants are high flow.
So we don't have to leave some certain colors. Like he said, some part of it has to be green or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we want usually the top or the nozzle attachment is delineated by the flow rate. So we'll make sure that we have that, and we'll work with the artist to kind of incorporate that
Okay.
into their design. Yeah,
I know
but we
that-
don't have any low flow hydrants or anything in town, and we just got rid of our warp hydrants and stuff. So pretty much all of it is are high flow. But a lot of cities don't, might have, like Ferndale has some low flow hydrants and things, and you really need to know when you're hooking up to those whether how much water you can flow, and it's all goes into the engineer's calculations for pumping pressures and different things. So it is important, but we're kind of in a different boat here.
Okay.
I did notice also that there's more knobs than is depicted here.
Yeah.
When I went and looked at the
Right.
I was like,
And well, they're all different.
And some of
too.
them are different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's what we're going to
So
have
have
to
to
work with
incorporate that.
each artist to like kind of go but this was a good shot at kind of, coming up with an idea, and then you'll
Sure.
have to refine your
Adjust it. Yeah.
based upon your hydrant.
So, and I see that the paperwork where they requested a certain area doesn't appear to be attached here.
Yeah, we had just for sake of um saving copying, we pulled some of that out. But we do have, and some people didn't put an address.
Okay.
They just said they'd like to do one, so just assign something.
Right.
So,
Okay. So
and then we do
then-
have additional applications too. So we have one from the Great Redwood Trail Agency wants to do one, and then Blue Lake School wants to do one or two. And then Gloria, the Blue Lake Block Parties, they would like to do one also. And then there were a couple other people that mentioned that they were really interested and wanted to, and just hadn't got their applications in.
Mhm.
So I'll probably kind of go and hunt those people down. And but so we have quite a few.
So we'll have an.
And the fire department will do one. Oh, and Parks and Rec, Molly in the resource center.
Are there enough for everybody who submitted?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I mean, we've got, people can do them up in their own neighborhood.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, if we can kind of get the downtown kind of first, maybe this entryway, because we're going to have some new landscaping going in on Greenwood too. And we did install a couple new hydrants on Greenwood. So, so that would be nice to kind of have that, as part of the overall project. And then the downtown, there's not a ton of hydrants in the downtown. So yeah, I think we'll have everything covered for the most part. And I think more people will pop up too as we kind of get
Yeah.
closer,
I know there were some people I had talked to who were
Uh-huh.
interested, and
Yeah.
then I reminded them on the day, and they're
Right.
like, "No, we can't get it in." So
Yeah.
if they still can, then I will tell
Absolutely.
them that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And the idea was to have kind of a paint out day where we
Mhm.
could just make it kind of a fun art day. Maybe we have drinks and snacks and stuff at the town square, and people can just kind of circulate and just kind of have fun with their project. I was even thinking maybe people would want to host, drinks at their hydrant or something, just to make it kind of fun for each organization. I think the chamber, did you guys say you were going to do one?
We didn't have a meeting tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't have a quorum.
Jeff and I.
Oh no. Well, I think the chamber had said they were kind of interested. So, but it might be fun for each, group to have a little, something about their organization, or
maybe when they're done,
hmm
have a
could do a-
little.
A little walkabout.
Yeah,
hydrant walk, yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Gallery walk.
an art walk.
I like
An
that.
art walk.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah, because I think the day you're doing it, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to do this with my granddaughter, and
Mhm.
just trying to get the work done. I think
Right.
I can't imagine
Yeah.
trying to host a party at the
Well,
same
I'm just
time.
thinking more of like, if it's the chamber or Parks and Rec,
Right,
or,
if people wanna come
Del
around.
Arte or the Logger, if we have, groups too that want to, showcase their business or just make it fun,
Yeah.
make it like a more interactive, scene. Because
Yeah.
we don't have a lot of art pieces in the community. This is kind of the start of trying to get some of this going.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, this will be
yeah.
a way to bring
yeah,
that
I think it'll
in
be really fun.
more. Okay, so are we, let's see.
Yeah, so I think tonight I wanted to let you guys know what we've received so far. We do need to look at setting a date for the painting. The city
Yeah.
said that, we said committed to buying the paint and providing the paint. We'll also commit to going and cleaning the hydrants a bit too. We can kind of
Okay.
pressure wash them a little bit
Right.
because we have to repaint the hydrants anyways. So we, it's work that we're already mandated to do. Um, and then, yes, so then if we can kind of set a date, we want to do it fairly soon. I think early November or mid-November before we start running into, rain. I mean, rain could still happen, but November
don't
usually
see a
seems like a pretty nice month.
cover page for this that says like number 6. Is
Oh,
it
an agenda
out of
report?
order? Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, maybe I didn't. I might not have done an agenda report. Maybe I missed it.
okay. So, yeah, what kind of dates are you? Because
I mean, it's kind of weather dependent too.
yeah, it
Right.
is.
Can we do
Yeah.
a tentative one and then
Yeah, I think so.
like,
I think we just, maybe like I said, mid-November. It's a little crazy. Like right now, we've got Halloween and all the Halloween stuff and block
right.
parties and trick or treat things, and then November will be right
Mm-hmm.
there.
I'm gonna
So
be gone from the 6th to the 13th, but
Mm,
that's my only issue. So the
Mhm.
16th, is it gonna be a Saturday?
I think a Saturday or Sunday,
would
whatever
I
you
hope.
think
guys think.
Sunday would work better. We were gonna
Sunday?
have something on Saturdays in November. I told her
Mm-hmm.
to, so
Yeah. Yeah. Sundays can work.
Sunday would be better.
Sundays are nice.
I mean, for
17th
us, but
to
I
the
don't.
17th, is
We don't
it
have
too
to.
late?
I don't know. Depends on the rain.
Yes, weather permitting.
Maybe we can tentatively say that. I don't know.
Yeah. What was the date? Sorry.
The 17th is a Sunday um, in November.
Yeah, that sounds great. Let's do
One
it.
of,
All
one
right.
of the few 4 Sundays. Yeah. And then we can just play it by
Still
ear.
a couple weeks before.
And
Yeah.
then what are we talking like? Starts at 9 or 10 or something?
10 maybe because it allows it to kind of dry out a little bit if
Right,
it's
because it
kind of
might be wet and
misty or,
cold. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's
So 10 o'clock.
yeah.
Sunday. Don't make me.
Yeah. And what we'll do
Yeah, I
is,
know. I know. That's why Saturday was better, but that's okay. So what are we calling it? Fire hydrant paint day?
yeah, the great hydrant paint out.
And then let's say people can't do it that day because I have no idea if my granddaughter's available.
Yeah. I think, if
Then we
we,
just
people
play it by
can,
ear. But
yeah,
the city
or
will
they
have
can just do it
paint.
another day. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, we'll work with everyone. But if we can get, some going, but we're
On
not, we
Sunday.
won't preclude anyone from if they're not around or something.
yeah,
And I imagine it might take people longer. They might want to like come in and do some prep work early
yeah.
and then, maybe I don't know how people will do this if they want to, outline before and then they're just painting that day. So we'll give people the flexibility to, it's kind of like here's your hydrant, do what you do what you will. But if you could be, the ultimate goal is to have Sunday where we see people painting and, so but it's
And
our
how
first
will
time
we
doing
know
this.
what hydrant we get?
We can go through and just make sure that no one's duplicated. Staff can do that.
Okay.
And then we'll assign it out,
Just try to give people
yeah,
their
we'll get a
first
hold of
choice.
everyone. Yeah, I think I think everyone will get their first choice. It didn't look like anything was overlapping. So, and some people just said, like assign me one, I'll be fine. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then we'll
Cool.
let everyone know and kind of come up with a flyer and an announcement and we'll put it out and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
All
think
right.
it'll be fun.
All right.
Seems manageable.
Is there anything else we have to do?
I don't think so. I mean, just spread the word that and if, like I said, if people want to do this in their neighborhood, it doesn't have to be in the downtown. So,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next is the City Hall signage, number
Oh.
7, discussion and recommendation.
yeah. So, City Hall is in desperate need of some new signage.
You're not gonna
Our
get rid of
main,
that piece of wood, are you?
our main sign, yeah. In,
Really? You're gonna
yeah.
get rid of it?
Well, I don't know.
You
You
gotta
could have
put
it
it
if you
somewhere.
want. It's it's just it's starting to break. It's every day I'm worried it's gonna just fall apart because where the brackets are, it's starting to just kind of evaporate almost like so. Um, yeah, and it's not really reflective of. I mean, the population is 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, I mean, it's just so we would like some new signage. We'd like to be able to let people know that the library is also here. That's a question we get a lot. People don't know where the library is or where Skinner's store. So just thinking about having a little more directional sign. And now that we have, uh, kind of the new branding kit that has the typography and the logo and colors, I wanted to bring this back to the Arts and Heritage Commission and get some feedback um, on direction on what you guys think. Um, I'm more than happy to, turn this over to a professional sign maker is where I kind of feel like it should go anyways. But if you guys have recommendations or ideas, I'm happy to um, relay that information as well.
So do we have what this would actually look like?
No, because I don't really know. So I was just looking more for direction from Arts and Heritage on kind of what your thoughts are. Like I said, for me, I would turn this over to a sign maker designer because I don't have that expertise. We do have now, though, this package that has, the typography, colors, a logo, and things that you could direct someone to utilize this to come up with some ideas for a signage package. I mean, it doesn't have to be overblown either. It's really, when you look at a lot of municipal signs, they're either like green with white writing or they're brown with white writing or black with white writing. So they're pretty simple because you want people to be able to see it, take in the information, not be distracted. Because
Mm-hmm.
the last thing we want is people driving down and trying to read a sign and then all of a sudden they've crossed over the line or, bumped a sidewalk or something. So something, we're just looking for something kind of simple for City Hall, but we do definitely need new signage. I'm worried that one is, like I said, it's probably this winter. If it goes to another winter, it's probably going to just fall apart. So, and it'd be nice now that we have all the new sidewalks and the landscaping, it'd be nice to have something nice there too. And I would anticipate these would be like a metal sign. It would be, I think we could use the same bracket because I think that bracket's nice. We'd want to paint it. Right now it's bent because that burl is so heavy that it like literally kind of bends it over. So we'd want to straighten it up, probably paint it black, and then put the sign, put it back there. It's in a good location for us for City Hall. But like I said, just something that we wanted to kick back to Arts and Heritage to get your input on whether you think this is appropriate to use this branding program or if you had other ideas.
My only thing, I don't understand how black is fertile soil. That's something.
Oh,
Who
it's
said
more of a
that?
brown. It's hard with
Oh,
our copier, so it's actually like a really, really deep brown.
oh, okay.
But our copier,
We have
Not
black
it
and
black.
only
white
has.
also, but
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
it's okay.
Did you want to look at?
I think just traditionally, like nutrient-rich soil is darker. It's
Okay.
Like a really
Okay.
dark brown. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so so like the mountains, is that the nutrient soil or fertile soil?
It's probably
Like all the black,
Here's the thing.
like
yeah.
That's
what
the
we see as
Redwood
black is
sunset, I
actually the
think.
dark.
Or is that the river and sky?
Well, because the redwood sunset is
Oh, yeah.
above, and then below that is the fertile soil.
Right.
So that's more brown or dark brown.
Well, my sense of color isn't always good.
Well, and it's
Well, she was
hard
I
to
saying
can
our
see
tell
it has
because
the
of from
numbers
the
here.
copiers.
here.
Yeah.
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 And it just depends, I mean, what you're going to see, like, depending on what kind of screen you have,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
is going to be different than what but yeah, it's going to be
I
very
think a
close
little,
to black,
uh,
but it's got
yeah,
a kind of a,
more on the warmer side.
mhm.
I like. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I like this design, but I do think I think blue, like I see that sign and I like incorporation of blue. Yeah, but I feel like a sign maker would, I mean, it's possible I would feel more equipped to like have some examples and then be able to like look at them and see and make a
Yeah.
recommendation out of
Sure.
that. But just sort of out of looking at this and like, I don't, I'm also not a sign
I
maker.
know.
So.
I'm not either. So.
Right. And then we would want to know like the directionality you said.
Right.
I think just looking at this one for me, I like it when Blue Lake is together. So
Mhm.
these versus the words being on top of one another. But
Mhm.
Hmm.
that's not like one that I haven't strong feelings about.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Great.
I like that too.
Yeah, and if you guys are comfortable with that, I could have we would probably just send it back to Noah from Visual Concepts.
Mhm.
That's, his profession, and
Mhm.
have he could come up with some recommendations and I could bring it back to you. Um
It
I
would be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I would like to be able to get something ordered fairly soon. So I don't know if you guys want to um I mean, I could definitely bring it back to your next meeting if you'd be prepared to make a recommendation at that in November. Otherwise, it would be nice if you had an ad hoc that could then like work through that so we could get some stuff because we need signs on the other side of the building right now. Like you can't see our hours anymore. You can't see the library hours. So we're kind of in, I mean, we're not, it's not going to hurt anything, but it's just another month of not having,
So that would
information.
all be put on one big sign that
No, no. So we need a big sign out front that would demarc that it was City Hall, and also some signage directional for, I mean, you could have, I was thinking when I looked at some other sign packages for municipalities, they might have like the City Hall, and then underneath would be like another smaller that says like, library or resource center. So that
Mhm.
it's in the same area.
Right.
But the main building is City Hall. But then we have over on this side of the parking lot, we have there's some wooden signs that someone had made. I mean, it was very nice at the time, but they've just worn down to the point where I think they were kind of like engraved, and they've all wore down, so you can't tell like what our open times are or anything. And I think it's important to have signage on this side too, so when people are getting out of their cars to come to City Hall, they know that the library is open from these times, City Hall's open from these times, because we are closed from 12 to 1, and then we're closed after 4. So it's nice for people just to be able to look up there and see that. Right now, they look up and there's a piece of wood, and you can't. There's no writing on it basically anymore. So
And you think
um,
it would be metal?
probably, yeah, just to keep it simple.
Okay.
And that way, it's not a forever sign, and it's also affordable because signs are really, really expensive. So if you
Is
start,
wood more expensive?
is what?
Wood. I just tend to
Yeah.
like natural materials better.
Yeah, I think once you start going into wood and stuff, you're kind of getting into a more, I mean, they can do it, I think. I'm sure they could take a design and then fabricate it. Usually it's like a CNC machine or something that,
Right.
engraves it, and then it's got to be painted and stuff. So,
Right.
I've seen sometimes where they've taken a metal, like maybe your seal or something, and maybe printed that and then inset it.
Mm.
But I do think you're talking a lot more money at that point.
Mhm.
So these could be, a sign that gets us through for a while, until we maybe have more resources to do something different. These aren't astronomically expensive. I mean, you could probably do the entry sign for, $120 or something. Um, so it wouldn't be, if at the end of the day you're like, well, it's not my favorite, when it's time to change it out again, you could change it in a couple years or whatever and not have really lost your investment. But like I said, at this point we do need some new signage. So,
As
but if
long
you
as
guys
it's
would
not
like, I
vinyl.
could.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, and I think Noah would be happy to present some ideas
Yeah, that would be
because it
good.
all
Would you want to
has the
invite him
kind of
to the
Mhm.
party?
No, I was kind of thinking that we might want to do that. That maybe it would be nice for him to come and kind of give a presentation to Arts and Heritage about, how he came up with this,
Yeah, that would be
its
good.
applicability, because we are looking at him helping us with some additional logos for different merchandise, because we need to kind of get out our fall winter merchandise through Parks and Recreation, because we do sweatshirts and stuff, and a lot of people like to buy those for gifts. And in the past, it's just really been Emily and I using our Cricut machines
Right.
to come up with these designs. And I think we've outgrown and need to move to the next step. So we were going to work with Noah to kind of help us come up with that, kind of that image package so we can start, because we can do all the heat pressing and stuff ourselves, but we're not graphic artists.
Right.
And, I think we got us through for a while, but I think, like I said, I think we've outgrown our capabilities. So it might be great. Maybe Noah would come in and kind of do a presentation on,
Yeah, that would be nice.
and I was thinking it might be hopeful your next agenda item, the artificial intelligence policy recommendation, because Randy's not here, and this has really been spearheaded by a lot of work that Randy's been doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
That
should have.
maybe we should
Yes,
defer this
yes,
Yeah, I
or
think
table it to the
so.
next meeting. And
yes.
maybe at that same point, maybe Noah would be willing to come in, because I know as a graphic artist himself, he's been greatly impacted by this as well.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
just to kind of talk about, how this is impacting our artisan community, and, where it is appropriate and not appropriate, for use. So we'd be happy to do that and see if he's
Okay.
available.
Mhm.
So that puts us at 9 ad hoc committees.
I know.
No.
And it's the same
No.
people.
Number 9. Which we skipped 8. We're
Oh, I see. I see what
Yeah.
you're saying.
That was the
That's
policy
fine.
discussion
Yes,
on
I
AI.
misunderstood what you meant. I'm like,
Yes, so I,
nine ad hoc committees, but
I know.
yeah,
That's what I thought
okay,
too.
you're on seven.
I was like, what? Oh, okay. So this is murals and sculptures. As you know, it's Sherry and I basically, and she's out of town, and we didn't have a chance to meet, although we communicated about meeting. Um, so no real updates there. I just know, and I've said this before, but like, at Delarte, we're really trying to get grants funding for repair of our building, and that includes a paint job, and really getting it back to its former glory. And we'd be open. I think we're looking into historical site status and to see if we can
Oh.
do that. Um, and I know there's some regulations around that, so I'm not sure what we can do, but we've got that big wall
Oh,
that
screaming.
I know would be great
Mural me.
for a mural. So, yes, I know. So
Yes.
I'm hopeful that within those kind of like, if we can find that funding for beautification and repair. We need a lot of repair, and hopefully if we can get some kind of status that helps us with that, because it is a very significant building. Uh, that would be we're open to that, to having a mural. So
That'd be great.
just to say that. Come on.
Nice.
I know. That's great.
What about this little one? Isn't there going to be a little mural for the library?
There is, yeah. So Molly and Kim have been working on a mural project for the front of the library. And they
Oh,
did
yeah, we're over here.
they did a bunch of outreach to the school, to the summer camp program, and then just the community in general. And I don't think they received a lot of actual pictures necessarily, but they received good feedback on ideas. And so I think that where they're at is they're going to kind of translate that to an idea for a mural. And we talked about, at this point, whether we could keep it fairly simple so that we could just do it as community members. So originally we had talked about like what were some of the themes around, obviously the library is literacy and families. And then the resource center, we talked about healthy foods and access to healthy food. So we were like, oh, like vegetables and books, and, like it could be, um, you know, cute animals holding books. It could be a vegetable reading a book. Like, could we combine it in a fun way so that it could be kind of vibrant, with some vibrant colors, but also a little simplistic maybe, so that if we can't find someone to do the mural, if Molly and Kim and I end up having to do this on a Sunday ourselves, what level can we pull off? So they're working on all of that, and we're hoping that we'll be able to translate that into a project, which I think we will. And
Maybe, Andy at the school, might know some of the older students or
hmm
that are just, gifted,
right, right.
or maybe even, some kids. It'd be fun if it was kind of painted by kids
It
who
would, yeah,
who
yeah.
could
And that's
do
what we
it.
thought. If we can do it
There's some amazing,
kind of a
talented
little bit
kids in the
more
world. Yeah.
simple, kind of the theme, we could have, I mean, not that kids aren't, have to have simplistic design, but it would make it easier,
Mhm.
to take on. So, yeah. So Molly and Kim are working on that, and we're hoping to get that moving because it would be nice. We had the contractor just paint it gray, just kind of primer it so that we
Mhm.
could then come back in and do a background and all of it. So yeah, so that is ongoing as well.
Okay. So, anybody else on that? Anybody from here?
Anyone want to paint a mural? The librarian. Yeah. Yeah.
The resource
Yeah.
officer.
Yep. Sorry.
It's like share, and sting.
Like,
Got
we
the
all
name
know
wrong.
it's the famous Molly and the famous Kim.
Okay, so we're at future agenda items and announcements, and we've already said invite Noah
Right.
and to discuss the AI use of AI.
Yeah, and talk about the branding, and maybe he could bring a signage package for us to look at.
Some suggestions for
Yeah.
the sign.
Anybody have any other future agenda items? Should we catch back up with you as far as any mural ideas after Sherry gets back, or that's sort of an ongoing?
Yeah, I think we kind of leave that one on for you guys
Yeah,
just
it's
in
kind
case
of
something comes
ongoing in
up.
Mural.
case something
Okay.
coming up, but yeah.
And then as far as the I don't know if we still need all this other stuff on here, or is there anything we can take off for next time? Did we make a decision about this? The traffic
Yeah,
calming?
Yeah,
we
you
did.
did.
Yeah.
Okay, so that doesn't have to be back there. And then the fire hydrant, we'll have more people, right? Maybe, I don't know if we
hmm
need to keep that on or
Well, you
not.
guys will actually be right around, will it be
When
before or after?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna miss that meeting. Oops.
It's gonna be Veterans Day, your next meeting.
Oh,
Oh,
that's not gonna work anyway.
Indigenous Peoples
Indigenous
Day.
Peoples
Indigenous
Day.
Peoples' Day, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't, but Veterans Day, a lot of people, a lot more people will be off.
that's my son's birthday. That's why I won't be here.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, but you would have, we're proposing to have the paint day the day before.
17th.
So,
The
so yeah,
17th.
we can have it on
It's
there
the
and
day
just,
after. It's
we'll
the week
just,
after.
aren't you guys the third Monday or
The
are you the second?
11th
Oh, you're
is,
the second Monday.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So maybe we
Planning
should
commission or
either
something.
meet 1, 2, 3 on the 4th or the 18th if we want to, if we don't want to meet on that day.
The fourth will be Public Safety Commission, but they meet at 7. Let me see if it's
Yeah, I
not-
can't be here that day anyway. Going to see Willie Watson. I'm looking at my calendar.
It would be the 18th. Is there something on the 18th?
That is usually Planning Commission, and they meet at 7. So elections. Oh, that's at Crash Hall though.
Are elections
Um,
happening? Different topic.
Wait, what is that?
November 5th.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I heard that there wasn't going to be anywhere to vote in Blue Lake. Is that true?
It should be at Prash. They usually use Prash.
Yeah, that's where.
Okay. That's what yeah. So that's a rumor.
Yeah, I think we have it on the wrong date though on our work calendar. Um,
Are you guys
check
up
that.
for that?
The 18th
The 18th?
would be better for me, actually.
So
Would
move
it?
them.
It's fine with you. What
Preference.
about time wise?
So we would need to do it at 6.
Maybe
Earlier,
earlier because
at least.
Yeah,
Do
if
it
you
at
could do it at
5:30.
yeah, 5:30 or 6, just in case we have planning commission because they come in at 7.
Does
So
that
5:30.
does that work?
sure.
I guess we'd have to check with the other commissioners though.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'm gonna.
5:30 or 6.
Okay.
we'll get that out. Okay, so I'll ask Tony to poll the other commissioners.
Okay. It's a possibility.
Okay, so you said 5:30?
Probably a good idea. Anybody want a
Okay.
motion to adjourn?
I will motion to adjourn.
7 seconds.
Okay. Motion
do I
by
have to make a
Julie
check
Douglas,
box?
seconded by Alice Finan.
I'm an
She
actor,
got it?
so yeah.
Yeah.